Hello there, friends. Today is March 11th, 2024, and today we're asking ourselves the question, what is a Victor Wembanyama rookie card in the 2023 Panini NBA Hoops set worth? We're not just doing one card. We're doing all 15 of the parallels and inserts that you'll see here. Pretty cool, right? It took a long time to put all this information together, but essentially I'm establishing comps. We'll establish fair value on these cards, as well as some entrance and exit points. First offer, second offer, third offer for you as well. So took a lot of work, and hopefully you all enjoy. First, let's talk about this table. Just give me a couple minutes. We'll discuss it. I'll explain what everything means. And then for the future cards, things will go a lot quicker. So we have card number 277 within the 2023 NBA Hoops set. This is going to be what I would consider your base set standard card within the set. We've put together 15 comps. These are all recent sales that are taken from auctions on eBay. And no buy it nows, no best offers, just auctions, because I like to see the back and forth of the bidders going against each other. I think that's vitally important to establish true demand. Down beneath here, we've got 5 different colors. Blue here would be the average bid price somebody made in order to win one of these cards. That comes to $7.25. Next to it, we have an average shipping is $1.69 for a total all-in price of $8.94 to have it show up at your door. Now, is that what I think this card is worth? Any of these numbers? Most certainly not, because it doesn't take into consideration that sellers on eBay have fees that they must pay. And that's why if you're at a show or if you're going into a store of some sort and they pull up recent comps, make sure they're not just pulling up this blue number, because that's not taking into consideration that the sellers are losing money on top. So $5.99, this orange number is subtracting those fees that you see typically on eBay. $5.99 is what I would call fair value for this card. It's still not what I would like to be offering. That's why we've got the stoplight colors here. Green means go, yellow means slow, and of course red means stop. Green is 70% of the blue number. Yellow is 75% of the blue number, and usually the hard stop, 80%, is going to be here as well in the red. So green first offer is $5.07 if I'm trying to pick up this card in person or at a show. Yellow, slow it on down, 75%, $5.44. And then last, $5.80 is my hard stop red. Typically, these are important numbers, but I like to make sure that I'm still getting in the bottom third of sales, because we can see some high sales that are sort of skewing things up in the more expensive range, and that is what I want to avoid. So I always sort ascending on this column here, I should say, and go down 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. $4.91, which is an interesting number that gets us in the bottom third of sales, but it also is a number that is well below this green. And what that tells me is that green is now my hard stop. $5.07. I'm not going any higher than that, because I know that there are sales recently that have been made well below that. And I'm willing to wait, because guess what? All of these sales, with the volume of this card out there, all of these sales happened in one day. So that means I can find a card if I'm just patient enough. And that's what I would be doing. Now, if I wanted to get into the top third of sales, which is usually what I use in order to determine what I'm going to price a card at, I go 5 from the bottom. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That gets me $7.84. I could essentially pick up a few dollars in profit by selling at this price point, or on eBay for $9.38. All right, I know that was a lot of information, but just remember, blue, average bid price, orange, what the sellers take home, and then we've got first, second, and third offers in the green, yellow, and red. All right, let's also take a peek at the graph. This isn't going to tell us nearly as much as many would. Why? Because again, all of these sales happened in one day, so you're not going to be getting an idea of where things are happening over the course of time. If we had a shorter print version, obviously fewer sales would be happening, and we would have maybe a month or two worth of data to follow the trends. But this is showing you, though, that if you are buying online, do not get caught up in the shipping fees. Look at this. Don't get caught in this $5.15 shipping fee. That's insanity. Instead, make sure that you're looking at shipping fees of $1, $12, somewhere around there, because they exist and you don't want to be spending more money than you absolutely have to. All right? So now that we know what this chart and this table are all about, we can move forward and understand it a little bit easier for all the rest of the parallels. Next up, we have the Hoops Tribute here. As you can see, I actually prefer the look of this one over that base set card. I think it's way cooler. It doesn't have that weird curved edge. I mean, it has curved edges on all the sides, but I guess it has it down here too. Interesting. I guess I've never taken that close of a look. Yes, but you see how they have the curved edge? So we got a curved edge up top here, and then on the Hoops Tribute, I guess it's the curved edge making up that Spurs logo. So, yeah, look at rounded edges, curved edge, and a square. Man, they really went off after some variety on that. Anyways, back to the chart here. Looks like blue's going to be $665 is average bid price. Take home is going to be $547 for sellers. Green $466, yellow $499, and hard stop red $532. Again, let's sort ascending on this column to check and see what we've got. Let's drop down 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. $4.48. Again, below the green. So once more, green becomes my hard stop. $4.66. I'm not offering any higher than that. And from the bottom here, we're going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Looks like $6.21 would net me about $1.60 in profit, or a $7.50 buy it now. Again, the graph here is going to look very similar to what we saw above. Doesn't really make any difference on these because there's too many of them on the market right now in 1 day worth of sales. Next up, we've got the Antigravity card number 15. This one's really cool looking. However, it really makes him look skinny. And I know he is skinny. I know he's super lanky, but this, I don't know. It's just, I don't know. And it makes him look tiny on the card. I'm just not a huge fan of the way he looks in it, but nonetheless has some cool colors, some vibrant colors. I have yet to see one of these actually in person myself, but these ones, as you can tell, have happened fewer and far between. Look, we're going back to the middle of February on here, so our graph is going to look a bit more interesting. Looks like $23.41 is your average bid price. $20 is out the door. Well, actually, is what the sellers are paying. My goodness. First offer $16.39. Second offer $17.56. Final offer is going to be $18.73. Again, let's sort ascending right here. And 5 from the top. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. $16.62 lets us fall right between the green and the yellow. So $16.62 again is going to turn into my final offer. From the bottom, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. $22.26 is what I'd be asking for a nice tidy profit of about $6. That is not too shabby, and that actually puts this card right smack dab in the middle of my watch list. If I can make a $16 swing or a $6 swing on a $16 card, that's something that I should definitely take a peek at. So put this one on your list. $26 for a buy it now would be what you'd have to offer up. Now let's see what the graph is showing us here. As you can see, we have a much more distinct wave pattern as people are following his career. This again happening over a month and, I don't know, a month or so, not even. So not a huge upswing yet, but we'll be interested to see when people find this card out in the market, whether or not there's going to be huge demand for it. Next up, we got the Arriving Now. Let's get this in the screen here. I love how vibrant this card is. I think this card is cool. I think it's got that old school vibe to it a little bit. And, I mean, it's got the ticket. I think it's great. So this is card number 26. Looks like average bid $8.41. Sorry about that. And the $6.99 is going to be seller take home. First offer of $5.89, second offer $6.31. Hard stop is going to be $6.73. Adjust bottom third. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Looks like we're falling well below that 70% first offer. So this is usually what you find when you are dealing with a super volatile card. And that can be a good and a bad thing. Obviously, if you get caught in that downswing, you're stuck with a card. But if you're right at the right time, you can swing a few extra dollars. So I'm going to bet that our profit margin on this when we sell in the top third is going to be a bit more significant. Yes, indeed. So if I paid that 70% price point, which again is my new max, we'll make about $1.50 or so in profit. $8.75 would be that final buy it now option for you as well. Let's sort this one here just so we can look at the graph. Not that it matters too much. Again, we're looking at just a couple days worth of options, but take a look again. Make sure you don't get caught up in those shipping fees. My goodness, that is ridiculous. Next up, we've got an Attack the Rack. This is card number 1. And yes, card number 1's important because look at that jersey, card number 1. So that would be why I'd be targeting this card personally, just because of that jersey number. Now, average bid price, we're looking at $12.09. Sellers are taking home $10.19. Green first offer $8.46, second offer $9.07, and then $9.67. Let's take a look and see if our numbers are going to be a little tighter here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Again, well below that green. I like the looks of that. That is definitely making it a bit more intriguing. In fact, that is so far below the green that this 707 is my new final offer for sure. From the bottom, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. $13.15. You could potentially pull off a $6 swing on this card if you fought hard to get that 707. $15.50 would be that buy it now price in order to get that as well. Okay, now let's check this graph out because this one should show us a little bit more info. Relatively steady. Well, I mean, you've got that $4.85. You've got sort of a 400% swing from low to high. Granted, this card had pretty high shipping costs associated with it. So let's call it a 200% swing. That is significant. So this tells me that this card's kind of off the radar a little bit. Not as much demand for it. But again, that supply, it's really not there. I mean, this is a month worth of sales. I could only get 15 on them. So this is an intriguing card to just keep in the back of your mind for making a profit, just because not everybody knows about it, right? That's pretty cool. Next, we got the City Edition. I love this card as well. I think the background going great with his uniform. I like the action. Again, he looks long, but he doesn't look as scrawny as what was the Antigravity option. Is that what it was? Yeah, I think it was. So card number 30, average bid price $10.49. Sellers take home $8.80. We've got a green of $7.34, a yellow of $7.86, and a red hard stop of $8.39. Let's see if we can continue the trend of being able to get in below the first offer. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, indeed. $6.21. That probably means that the green is going to be my final offer. Let's call it $7 final offer on this card. Top sales are going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Looks like $9.03. So a couple dollars if you get in at that $7 price point, or a $10.75 is going to be your buy it now. All right. Undo that. Look at that graph. Doesn't tell us much again. One of these days, it'll tell us more, right? All right. Extreme Team card here. Let's get this in focus here. Nice vibrant card. So interesting thing about this card is you've got that dark edge, right? A lot of dark edge to it. I hate this curtain. My goodness, I hate this curtain. Anyways, dark purple edge, and then you've got curtain edge. This card has to be tough to grade. That would be something that certainly makes me second guess whether or not I'm going in on it. Just because once you get those dark edges, it just shows the softness of the card a little too much, and you're going to get a lot of white on there. So average bid is going to be $20.27. Green 14.19, yellow 15.21, 16.22 gets us close to that seller take home of 17.29. Ascending again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. $14.87 falls right between the yellow and the green. We're getting a little closer to more traditional pricing on this card. This one's going to probably be a little less volatile for us. So that is going to be my final offer. $14.87, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 from the bottom, and $19.22 would be what I would be pricing it at. So you could swing almost a $5 profit on that, or $22.50 on the buy it now. Graph here is looking like a sort of a steady upward trend on it. The highest recent sales happened most recently. Well, the recent sales that are the highest on here. Actually, this is not. Let's do this. What am I doing here? All right. So, again, we've got a longer time frame on this one. I put 3/20/24. I mean, that's not right. So this is 3/2/24. There we go. That's why I didn't know what was going on. Let's try that again. So yes, it seems like a little bit of a steady trend upwards on this card. Again, I'm too wary of the hard dark edges making an impact on a card like this, because whether or not I'm grading it now or later, obviously I'd want to have that option if I'm introducing it into my own personal collection or I'm trying to make some PSA grade moves. So that would sort of scare me off on this one. Next up, we've got the Ignition. This one has a lot of action to it. Pretty cool card. I think his jersey kind of off of that orange is pretty stellar as well. This is card number 20. 15.26 is average bid. Orange is 12.94. First offer 10.68. Second 11.45. Third and final 12.21. And bottom third gets us 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 10.54, so it looks like that green is kind of going to be our final offer on this card. 16.17 could net you about a $6 profit, $5 to $6 profit, and right about a $19 buy it now. Okay? All right. I think for the rest of this, we're going to be done looking at the graphs just so we can speed it up a little bit. Next up, we've got the Now Playing. This one kind of plays off of that Ignition with the colors. Looks like you've got the flame in the background still, too. It's really amazing how many parallels and inserts they put into this set. Pretty crazy, right? $15.50 average bid price, $13.15 take home for sellers, $10.85 as a first, $11.63 as a second, $12.40 as a third. And my my final offer is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. $10.98, so that falls right between green and yellow, so that's my new offer right at $11. We're also going to be asking for $15.75 to net about $4 to $5. $18.50 is your buy it now. Rise and Shine. We've got a patch on this one, so this is RS-WEM. This one going for a little bit more, although obviously it's probably not going to be a game worn. I should probably look into that a little bit more. I'm assuming not game worn. Otherwise, this number wouldn't be as low. 35.33 is your average bid. 30.35 is a take home on average. 24.73 first. 26.50 second. 28.27 is going to be your final on that. But adjust the new final. We're 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. $24.86 falls just above that green, so I'll probably call $25 is my final offer on this card. $31.80, so I can net between $6 and $7 with a $37 buy it now. Rookie Greetings. We're zoomed out a little too much on this one, huh? Let's go 75%. There we are. Rookie Greetings. This one's definitely a lot more common within this set. I also think it's pretty darn cool looking. It's also a sideways, horizontal, whatever you want to call it, card. This one, $7.91 is your average sale. $6.56 take home for sellers. $5.54 first, $5.93 second, $6.33. I'm going to bet we're going to get close to that green for our final offer, huh? Let's find out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. $5.34. Yep. So $5.54 is going to be my final offer. Going to be asking $7.07 for $1.50 change as far as profits concerned. $8.50. Buy it now. Rookie special. Cool looking card, if I do say so myself. Basically looks like the front of a magazine. And yeah, I think they did a great job with this card. Let's see. Card number 3, 3805 average bid, 3271 take home, 2663, 2854, 3044. Those are your important numbers. And we're going to be going 5 down. 2659 is right at that green. So let's call it $27 is my final offer. And we'll go $37 would be what I'd be asking for it for a cool $10 profit on a $43.17 buy it now. All right. Let's see here. Next up, rookie sweaters. This one's interesting because there are a lot of variations out there in the sweater. As you can see, some of them are just one color. Others have 3 different colors. So if you're looking at this card, make sure you get a cool sweater patch. It really is driving the sales, I'll be honest with you on this one. At least that's what I noticed when I was doing the comps. These higher price points typically had the better looking patch. So take that in consideration. $49.35 average bid, $42.51 is your average take home, $34.55 is going to be first offer. Let's see if first offer lines up with 5 from the top. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. $37. Look at that. Right at that yellow 75% price point. So $37 is my final offer on this card. And going to be asking for about $45 to net an $8 profit off of a $53 buy it now. We've got the Sheesh, right? This one has that comic book look that a lot of people are after. Also, again, something to consider, dark edges. Going to be hard to grade this one, that is for sure. So we've got $24.89 average bid, $21.29 is going to be take home. And we've got the first offer, $17.42. Let's see if that's going to be good enough in order to stay under 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Looks like $18.35 actually is going to fall between that 70 and 75% price point. So let's call it $18.50 as a final offer, and $22.26 is going to be what I'm asking. So let's call that $22. We'll be making a few dollars. Not a lot, but something if we can keep it on moving. This would not be a card I'd be grading. I just try to turn and burn this card pretty quickly. $26 will be your buy it now. And we've got a We Got Next. This is our last one here. My goodness, we went through a ton. Card number 33. I really enjoy this card as well. I think it's cool looking. I think it's sort of a great play on the Spurs colors. 904 is your average bid. 754 is your average take home. 633 is your 70% price point. And let's see if we can get in on that first offer. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, $6.21 gets us in the bottom third. So yes, a 70% price point is what I'm offering, and hopefully going to be pulling $8.37 and an ask for my own profit. So a couple bucks at a $9.99 buy it now. All right. Now, I know that was a lot of information. Hopefully it was helpful to you all. Obviously, there's a ton of Wembanyama rookie cards in this set, so it's really hard to keep track of them all. But bottom line is, pick a card that you think is cool, and probably stick to that one if you want. I'm not a huge fan, again, of the sweaters. I just think there's too much volatility. Again, if you can find one of the better little patches, fine, go for it. But other than that, I'd be sticking with a more traditional card as well. So anyways, my friends, if this helped you out, please let me know in the comments. I love nice comments. I love talking to y'all. And yeah, take care. All the best.